welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Wednesday, October 20th. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com, and here are a few of the stories from around Indian Country and that kind of a thing. So, Alaska Natives and elders and young people are being urged to take time to talk to each other in order to help preserve their language, traditions, and family. The Fairbanks Daily News Miner reports that Liza Jones, keynote speaker at the First Alaskans Institute's Elder and Youth Conference in Fairbanks, says both generations will need patience and determination. The 72-year-old Jones told the conference that she has watched her culture change, with mainstream American habits replacing traditional storytelling. Jones said her family used to tell bedtime stories that would be repeated by the children the next day to prove and improve retention and active listening. The St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Council says it has stopped sharing revenues with its casino along New York's northern border with the state of New York, claiming the exclusivity provision of its compact has been violated. Tribal Chief Mark Garrow says the second quarter check for about $4.9 million has not been sent. He declined to specify exactly what state officials did against its 7-county exclusive rights to install and operate slot machines. Garrow says the move isn't related to Patterson's administration attempts to tax tribal cigarette sales to non-Indians and isn't coordinated with the Seneca tribe's withholding of more than $200 million from the state from its 3 casinos in western New York. The Gerald L. Ignis Indian Health Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is in need of donations for the holiday season that's up and coming. They're still in need of new hats, gloves, socks, and scarves for families in need. They're asking that people please make a donation. For more information and or how to make a donation to the agency, you can contact the ANWC at 414-383-9526, and that's extension 300. Or you can go to the website, and we're going to have to put that up so you can read it and get that, and contact Charity Schwingle, the executive director. She also says miigwech. The mission of the Gerald Ignis Indian Health Center, Inc. is to improve the health, peace, and welfare of Milwaukee's urban Indian community. Today, October 20th, over 500 tribal environmental leaders representing more than 100 tribal governments from Arizona, California, and Nevada are meeting to discuss environmental challenges that tribes continue to face with the EPA's offices and officials in California. This conference, one of the largest gathering of its kinds, is a venue for tribal, state, and federal leaders and environmental professionals to share successes and apply that knowledge to the unique environmental issues facing Indian country today, said Jared Bloomfeld, the EPA's regional administrator for the Pacific Southwest. I'm looking forward to this opportunity to discuss with tribal leaders how EPA can collaborate with tribes to address critical issues such as climate change, safe drinking water, solid waste management, and air quality. Michelle DePass, Assistant Administrator for EPA's Office of International and Tribal Affairs, will attend, accompanied by the newly appointed Director of the American Indian Environmental Office, Joanne Chase. Ms. Chase is Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arika, also known as the 3 affiliated tribes. She joins EPA from the American Indian Community House in New York City, where she served as executive director. This year, the EPA awarded more than $76 million in grants for environmentally related protection projects to tribes in California, Arizona, and Nevada. The Cherokee Nation Tribal Council, in its monthly meeting, authorized the lease of trust land adjacent to the Redbird Smith Health Center in Sequoyah County to the Tahlequah Hospital Foundation for a dialysis facility. The proposed tract would be leased for a nominal amount for 25 years with an option to renew for an additional 25 years. In addition, the council voted to authorize the submission of a community development block grant for a Cherokee Cultural Arts Center and a food distribution site in Collinsville. The grant would total $800,000, which will be used to implement a microenterprise program targeting Cherokee artists as entrepreneurs, the Cherokee Cultural Arts Center, and a new food distribution center there. The Cherokee Nation will be required to provide a 25% match for those funds, totaling around $200,000. The council also passed a resolution requesting the approval of the location of each precinct for the 2011 Cherokee Nation elections upcoming next year. The next regular meeting of the council is on November 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Tribal Council Chambers of the Cherokee Nation W.W. Keeler Complex in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Tribal leaders and others gathered in Albuquerque for a national symposium say no one really has a handle on the extent of violent crime in Indian country, and they're hoping a new federal law passed during the Obama administration, or with the help of the Obama administration, will help them better define and address the problem. About 150 judges, law enforcement officials, and tribal leaders are talking about implementation of the Tribal Law and Order Act. The dean of the University of New Mexico Law School, Kevin Washburn, says having access to information is how the tribes will be able to fight crime. One of the key provisions of the law requires the U.S. Department of Justice to maintain criminal data on cases from Indian country that U.S. attorneys decline to prosecute. Some say more than 50% of the cases are presently declined by federal prosecutors. The Cauca region of Colombia will host the first Continental Summit of Indigenous Communicators November 8th through 12th. Of this year, organized in collaboration with Colombia's National Indigenous Council, or ONIC, and the regional organizations CRIC and ACIN. They are also currently seeking help in getting native press and filmmakers from North America interested in attending and covering the summit. The organization there are looking to engage with Native American organizations and media. Any leads are appreciated. At their website, there is a translation tool on every page, and that site is at cccia-210.com, and we'll put that URL up there for you to be able to read that as well and get a hold of them if you're interested. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this issue of the Native News Update. We want to thank you all for joining with us today. Come back again soon. Miigwech.